Welcome to another episode on Amvukisha, Karaoke Kenya as usual. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this episode. Today's guest, I'm really excited to have here on the studio. Her name, Suzzanne Wairimu, Suzzanne. And today we are going to be talking about communication because that's one of her specialties and some of the work that she does with her mom in the Her Mom's charity. And we're going to be talking about yoga and how to take care of ourselves, and especially for ladies, how to take care of their bodies, how to stay young, energized. And I'm super excited personally because I love communication insofar as that connects to leadership. And that is the reason I'm super excited for this episode. Welcome to the show, Limo.
Thank you very much, Cube. I can call you Cube, right?
Please do, yeah.
Yes. As you heard, my name is Suzzanne Wairimu Muhuri. Majina, yeah, ID. Thank you very much for having me here. I am also excited. I don't know what to expect, but I'm here for the ride.
Wairimu.
Yes.
Karibu kwa kipindi.
Asante. Yeah, I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
Kama bilingual will work for us.
We can do bilingual. Feel free. This is our show.
Mm-hmm.
This space I love. What I really love about doing this show is one, connecting with you because you're here. You've given me your time for free. You
Yeah. Free.
I'm really grateful. And it allows me to connect with you, get to know you, get to learn from you, allows us to exchange ideas.
Yes.
I think for me, I learn how to be a better human being by being with other amazing human beings. And yeah, the bilingual, we can do it however we like, because for me, the fun part, apart from the connection, is the co-creation. But this thing can't be without you, can't be without me, can't be without the guys behind the camera, can't be without the audience. So thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
I think in all that space, everybody has to do their thing. If your thing is bilingual, feel free.
Okay.
The audience is going to do their thing. If someone doesn't like bilingual, they're going to switch off. But that doesn't stop us from doing what we enjoy.
Yes.
And for me, what I enjoy is this process and these conversations. So thank you so much.
Thank you too for having me. When I just told me about this, I was excited. I was like, what happens? So in a nutshell, she told me, I said, okay, I'll be there. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. And I want to start from what I'm most curious about. And what I'm most curious about is Toastmasters. I've told you many times why.
Yeah.
I started reading leadership books when I was maybe 15 or 16. And communication kept coming up again and again and again. And there was always recommendations to join Toastmasters. Never did. But today I get to talk to someone who's member of Toastmasters, who's a VPM, Vice President Membership, Toastmasters.
Kilele Toastmasters, the Nyeri Club. Yes.
Nyeri Club. Yeah, Kilele Toastmasters Nyeri Club. So I want to hear more about Toastmasters, what you guys do, how you do it. But first, we can start at the beginning. Why did you join Toastmasters in the first place?
Okay, let me start at my beginning. That's your beginning. So yeah, Toastmasters is an international club, meaning it's worldwide. We have over 16,000 clubs worldwide, I believe. And it was started long time ago in 1922 by this guy named Ralph Smedley. Those people in Rotary, they were a bit lacking in communication skills and other leadership skills. They needed a platform where they could learn those because, again, you've talked a lot about communication. Communication is everything. So that's when he started Toastmasters. And it has grown and grown and grown. And now we have our very own Kilele Toastmasters, which is well over 5 years old in Nyeri. I believe it was started in 2018 sometime. Took a break around COVID time. But now it's back strong and kicking like never before. So why did I join Toastmasters? My friend, her name is Anne. she's one of those people who are always so excited when they meet someone who's fluent, who's who speaks good English, articulate, and all that. She's so excited. So she's always going on and on about that. And she told me, "I'm going to take you to this place where people speak like you." And and I said, "What place?" She couldn't remember the word Toastmasters. She just said, "It's just somewhere in this Nyeri." I said, "Nyeri? Nyeri is so small and we do very basic things." She said, "Yes, in Nyeri." And so apparently she never ever did take me to Toastmasters. Now, you mentioned yoga. This ties to yoga again. So the very first class of yoga in Nyeri that I attended, there were some members of Toastmasters. And so we exchanged contacts with some of them. After my first class, I'd always, every 2 Thursdays in a month, I'd see them post pictures of the Toastmasters meeting that was and all that. I texted one of them. She's my friend. Her name is Carol. And I said, when is the next meeting? What time is it? And she told me. I said, it coincided with yoga. I remember I mentioned Thursdays. It coincided. She said, "Well, I don't want to steal you away from yoga." I said, "I'm going to pop in, see if it's my thing. If it's not, then I just won't come back." So I went for the first meeting. I loved it. It was very nice because we learn in a very safe space. We correct each other. We have fun. We laugh a lot at jokes made during the meeting. I loved it so much. I have never missed a meeting since. Well, for the first full year, I had never missed a meeting. I may have missed 2 or 3 when I was going through certain things in life, but then it's never by choice. I am there every second and fourth Thursday of the month. I'm there, and I love it. That is how or why I joined Toastmasters. And for me, I felt at home. So I just kept going and going back. And it was fun being there. It's a good way to spend my 2 hours every 2 Thursdays in a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, and I hear that you just had this space and you just, I'll pop in and see if it's my thing. I can't imagine myself ever doing that. Social anxiety and all. But you're vice president membership, so that means you have to try get people like me to come be a part of Kilele Toastmasters Nyeri Club.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges you faced trying to convince people who would especially benefit from the club to join and become members?
Oh, what you just said is the first hurdle we have to face. People who say, "Oh, I'm not social like that. I'm not going to go to a new place and just sit and among people I don't know and start talking to them or listening to what they have to say." That is the anxiety. Social anxiety is a big thing because most people I ask to attend, because you get to attend without being a member. You can be a guest as many times as you want to. But if you want all the benefits, the full benefits of being a Toastmaster, then you need to become a member. But before that, you can be a guest as often as you want. And the first question most people ask me is, "Nitamba niseme kitu?" I say, well, you will have to introduce yourself and your job because it would be awkward to sit among people who don't know you and you don't know. So everyone gets to introduce themselves and their job and maybe even say something fun about themselves or something they like to do. It's very short. That is the thing you'll have to do. Anything else, you don't have to do it. You are encouraged to participate because there's no right or wrong answer. The idea in Toastmasters is not, if I ask you, why is the sky blue? Your answer does not have to be the correct one. Once we go to Google, your answer does not have to coincide with that. The idea is for you to speak, to say something, to stand up in front of people and say something, because communication, leadership, those are the things we're discussing. And you cannot be a leader without communicating. Public speaking is big, especially when you're a leader. You will often be called upon to speak in front of people. So yeah, the social anxiety, that is the biggest hurdle we face. That is the biggest one.
Yeah. Is there any specific reason someone refused to join that you remember?
Other than well, one of my friends came and she just said, "It's not my thing." It's not her thing. But I think it's the same thing, comes back to the same thing. She didn't want to, because we do have this segment called Table Topics, and Table Topics is a segment where everyone, okay, not everyone, random people will be picked to speak. So you have to speak and you don't even know it. I'll read a question and you don't even know that question is coming to you. So I'll just call out your name. And I think that happened to her, and now she never wants to come back. But maybe she'll come back at some point. Maybe it wasn't her thing at that time. Maybe it will be her thing at some point. My youngest brother also, he works online. People who work behind computers, they don't socialize a lot. And when they are in public or mingling with other people, like him now, he noticed that I have lost touch with people because I'm always behind my computer. And he said, I really need this. I really need this. But again, the social anxiety was a hurdle for him. He kept saying, I'll try. And he did try. He went to take a Toastmasters because that's where he lives. He just took the leap and went to that meeting. And he enjoyed it very much, very, very much, and even took on a few roles. And he even came to our club. He drove to Nyeri one Thursday evening and joined in our meeting. And he loved it. Well, he's a bit busy now. I think he's not doing it still. But I know he learned a few things from those few meetings he attended. Yeah.
What do you personally love most about Toastmasters?
Oh, just being there, learning. I read a lot. That is my favorite pastime. Reading is what I do when I'm waiting for someone to show up, someone who's running late. It's what I do when I'm waiting in the doctor's office. It's what I do when I want to relax. It's how I spend my evenings. So with reading comes, it's English books that I like reading. So with reading comes all the big new words, exciting. So grammar has always been a big thing for me way back from school. So it's just fun to learn new words that I never heard of, to hear people tell their speeches. Speeches can be about anything, can be about themselves, can be about their jobs, anything in the world. So storytelling is also something I enjoy. So when people are making speeches, they are really giving their stories or stories of something that matters to them. And that is fun for me. It's a fun way for me to spend an evening doing that and listening to people. And then we have other people we call evaluators who will give feedback, because feedback is everything. That's how you know how well you did or where you need to improve on. That for me, it's always fun. We also get chai and mandazi afterwards, or snacks, and of course that is also a pack.
I'll come for the chai and mandazi.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
No, you have to sit through the meeting to enjoy the chai. No, that would mean you come in at, say, a few minutes to 8, because our meetings are from 6 to 8. So yeah, that I would want you to just try one meeting. And I always tell people, you're an adult. Hakuna mtu atakuchapa. If you hate it, you don't ever have to come back. If it's not your thing, you never have to come back. Just try it out. Try everything. I say, as an adult, you should try everything at least once. And if you hate it, well and good.
Because you've done me this favor, I'm gonna come one time only. Just
see, already I'm a prospective member in the making.
If my social anxiety gets the better of me,
it won't. Trust me, it won't. Because what I've realized that, you see, now you want to visit, and most guests, what they think is that they're the only guest there. They think everyone else is a member or has been there multiple times before. And you'd be surprised. Like last night, we had a meeting and we had so many guests. We had over 5 first-timers. I think even 6 of them first-timers. But you see, when you're sitting next to me, if that's my first time and that's your first time, unless I say it and I won't randomly blurt it out, you won't know. You'll think, oh, this is a member. They're so good at this. Nobody is so good at it. That's why we're there. That's why we're still learning. All you need to do is say your name and your job, and you get to network. Don't you want to network?
I love this kind of connection. This is my favorite way of meeting human beings, one-on-one.
And see what? You'll see people there and you'll think, oh, I should have that person in my show. And you'll invite them. You'll have more content for your show.
Definitely. So these are the lengths that I go to get great guests for you guys. So please watch, subscribe, like, so that we can keep getting more amazing guests like Nemo.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay. That's really enticing. What's the size of the club, like the Kilele Toastmasters Nyeri Club.
Mhm.
How many people are you, like the core members?
Mhm.
What is the size of a normal meetup? You
Mhm.
said you had like 5 guests yesterday.
Mhm.
So these are like new people,
Completely new.
completely new
Yeah.
people. What's this? How many people in a meetup? What's the size of your membership in Nyeri Club?
Mhm. Well, the size of our membership would be around 14, 15. This is renewal season. I'll get into that later. We have a season where we renew our membership. So people are still renewing. At the moment, we have about 14 members. And last night we had a total attendance of about 24. Mostly that's it, around 20 to 24. Sometimes it goes down to around 18. So that's not a lot of people for you to be too anxious about, is it? It's not 100 people. It's not even 50 people. And it's not one-on-one like this. It's like a round table or a U, and then we have, for guests, mostly they prefer to sit at the back. So you have another row of chairs in the back. You just go to a corner, sit there, observe. You say your name and then sit again and observe for just 2 hours.
Okay, I think I'd enjoy that. It's communication for me is something I've been working on for a very long time, always working on it. So I do understand when you say that there's a reason why you've been at Toastmasters for 5 years plus.
Okay. I have been for 3 years. This is my 3rd year. But yeah, the club, the Nyeri Club is well over, maybe 5. It's over 5 years, around 7 maybe. Yeah.
And so you still go because one is never ever perfect. One is always getting better at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's also enjoyable. It's not just the learning, and you also have fun. That's why in our club, our exact club, this Kilele Toastmasters, we say learning and having fun are not mutually exclusive. Meaning you can do both at the same time. It's not either you're having fun or you're learning one or the other. You can do both, and that's what we do. So the fact that we have fun is also another big thing, another big reason why I keep going back, because as I said, I spend a lot of time indoors. I read a lot. But every 2 Thursdays, I know I'm going to go out and mingle with people, like-minded people who want the same thing. We're going to learn. We're going to laugh, because we always laugh. Half the time I don't even know what we're laughing about, but there's always somebody who's going to say something that we're going to laugh about. That makes it fun. At the end of the day, at 9 when I'm heading home, around 9, like that was a good day, good evening. Looking forward to the next one.
Do you have any questions about Toastmasters? I don't know what to ask because I've not been to a Toastmasters. The thing I do know about Toastmasters and why I was super curious also is I know there are speaking competitions that are global.
Yeah.
Do you guys participate? What's that like?
Yeah, we do participate. We haven't done that since I have been a member. We are planning a speech contests in November in our club, because it starts at the club. Now at the club level, it's going to be us against another club, and whoever wins, they go on to the next level and next level. So it is fun. Basically, what happens in a Toastmasters meeting, we have roles, supporting roles. There's a TMOD, Toastmaster of the Day. Essentially, that's like an MC, somebody who runs the meeting. You've been to a function, an MC will stand up, introduce everyone to the meeting, say this is why we are here, this is what we are doing, and introduce someone else to speak. They sit down. Once that one is done, they stand up again. It's pretty much the same thing with a TMOD. They will introduce the meeting. They will give us a theme. It's up to them, whatever theme they want us to discuss that meeting. So they will tell us something about their theme, and they'll have a supporting team, like a team of role takers to assist with other roles. We have grammarian. This is the person who's like the grammar cop, checks. Did you say I has instead of I have, or something like that? That's my favorite one. I have I've done that for more times than I can count. So we have that one. We have an counter. That is, see what I just did there?
Yeah.
Those are R's and arms, filler words that we use while giving a speech or while addressing people. Those filler words are not great for for us for communication, because what they do is they interfere with the message you're trying to deliver. We use them because maybe we are not sure what to say next, or we are uncomfortable, or we've forgotten what to say. So we're like, so there's someone who counts those. How many of those did you have? How many, also repetitive words. There's some words we use a lot. Somebody would say, and then we went home, and then and so. Somebody will count that, give you a report at the end. And we have a timer, because timekeeping skills, that is also something we learn in Toastmasters. You see, even internationally, most places, they will give you time between 5 to 7 minutes, mostly, depending on what you're talking about, to make your speech. During those speech contests you're talking about, if your speech, you can give the best speech in the world, but if your speech is, say, over 7 minutes, you're disqualified. It doesn't matter how good your speech was. But also, if it's under 5 minutes, it's a bit inadequate. Maybe you didn't give us all the information needed to. So we have a timer, because timekeeping is very, very important. We also have other supporting. The other roles are a bit fun. We have a jokes master, someone who just stands and just makes us laugh. That's their job. It's a hard job, I imagine. We have a round robin master. This is somebody who's introduced at the very start of the meeting. Once the TMOD takes over the meeting from the president, the round robin master will take over. This is round robin, like round. Everyone gets to say something short, whatever they can start. The round robin master can start a story and we pick it up. Like, I woke up that morning with a splitting headache, and then you pick it up, take it wherever you want, and people kill the story many times in between. But then if you kill the story, it's up to the next person to revive it. And the idea again is for everyone to break ice. Like, it's an icebreaker for the entire room, so that at least nobody comes to that meeting and leaves without having said something. And it doesn't even have to make sense. Again, the idea is for everyone to speak. So we also have a Hackmaster. Hackmaster is someone who will come at the very end of the meeting to test our listening skills. They'll have questions they wrote down during the meeting. Maybe a speaker said this fact about themselves or in their story. They will test our listening skills in the end. This is a fun one, because they always have candy to reward us. If you are listening well and your hand goes up fast and you get it right, you get a reward. Well, we also sometimes have we have a table topics master. Table topics, I think I mentioned this before. Now, table topics is a segment where I'll read a question or ask a question, and I'll pick somebody at random. And this is very helpful, because I know you've been to meetings, work meetings, and out of the blue, sometimes your boss will say, Kevin, tell us what happened last evening. What happened with this? Out of the blues, nobody prepared you for this. Nobody told you you'd have to stand up and explain this. It's not even a long speech or anything. You just need to give an answer. What Table Topics does is prepare you for those impromptu times that you have to say something. When somebody asks you out of the blue, like your boss says, "Oh, explain this," or someone falls sick, someone who's supposed to do something, and then it's up to you to hold forth for them. That is what Table Topics helps with. So now the main part of a Toastmasters meeting is the speeches. Mostly we have 2 to 3 speakers, and the speakers will give their speeches. We have evaluators, people who will now give them feedback on how they did. Did they keep time? Did they tie their speech to their title? Did they use was their speech well structured? Did it have a body, at a beginning, a body, and a proper ending? Did they use the stage properly? Because all those things, again, communication is what we are learning, and leadership and public speaking. All these things, they come together to make a great speaker. If you're using the stage well, you don't want to stand in a corner there like you're afraid of your people. You want to walk around. You want to have eye contact with the people you're talking to. That is how you connect with them. And that if you have proper eye contact and you connect with the audience well, you'll be able to tell when you're losing the audience, when they start to doze off or they start to look at their phones, you will tell, and you'll either know that your speech has gone on for too long and you need to wrap it up or something. So we have evaluators who will evaluate the speeches, and we also have a general evaluator. There's somebody who will evaluate the whole meeting. Did it start on time? Was the room ready? Was everyone given a chance to introduce themselves? Did the evaluators do a good job? The role takers, everything. So they give a bird's eye view of the whole meeting. And now the president starts and ends the meeting. As I said, I'm the vice president membership. There's a whole executive committee, which has a president, vice president education, vice president membership, vice president public relations, a secretary, a treasurer, and an SAA, sergeant at arms, someone who gets the room ready before a meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
That's a lot of information.
An awful lot. I know.
So for people who are factual and who wants to know why should I join a Toastmasters, what's that's going to be like, I think you've done an amazing job of explaining to someone what goes on behind closed doors. Is it behind closed doors?
It is behind closed doors when the speakers are making their speeches, because what we want, we don't want them disrupted. You know, an opening door somewhere, a ringing phone somewhere might throw off their train of thought, and they might forget what they were speaking about. Yeah. But then after the speeches, you can come in and go out as you wish. Of course, minimum movement is always in such a gathering. You don't want to move around too much. So it is essentially behind closed doors.
Do you guys record? Will I find myself make a gaffe and then become a meme?
Never. Exactly. Now that is what I meant with learning, and by saying that we learn in a safe space. Nobody's going to make a meme out of you. Nobody's going to laugh. We laugh. We're laughing because it's funny. We're laughing with you. It's never at you, because we're all there to learn. If we were so perfect, we wouldn't need to be there. And we see growth. We see people who've and they see the growth. We see the growth. People who've come there unable to stand in front of a crowd, give us even a 5-minute speech. We always say, they say the stage is hot, because sometimes you get on stage and you start to sweat, and it's very chilly outside, but you're sweating because you're in front of people. And that still gets to us. Even after you've stood in front of a crowd for a very long time, you'll find that sometimes you shake a little. Somebody said they can't even hold a paper. Like they'd rather have their tablet or phone with their notes, because holding a piece of paper then shows everyone what's going on with you, because the paper is never steady in their hands. Yeah. So you'll never find a meme of yourself or any other Toastmaster, unless it's a fun thing that you wanted done.
Okay. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how to become a member of Toastmasters. Welcome back. When we left off, we were talking about what it's like behind closed doors at Toastmasters. And now we are back. For someone who's curious, how do they walk through the door to become a Toastmasters member? Nimo, I'm a student. I'm early in my career. Or maybe I'm even experienced, but I know I struggle with public speaking. I struggle with communication. I aspire to leadership. I aspire to maybe positions where I have influence. Or I just want to communicate better, even in my own private life. Mm-hmm. How do I join Toastmasters? How many millions do I need? Do I need to sell a kidney? How do I become a member of Toastmasters?
Well, yeah, sell a kidney? No, never. To become a member, first of all, as I said, you can attend a Toastmasters meeting without being a member. It's not one of those things where the moment you walk through the door, you're as good as registered and you're a member. You can visit as many times as you want to have a feel of it, to learn what you can. But if you truly want to grow, becoming a member is the only way to do that. You pay for your membership, and then which gives you access to a curriculum, pathways. It's a curriculum, a Toastmasters curriculum, which will guide your speeches. It will tell you, once you pick a path, it gives you options of various paths that you can take. What is more you will go through a number of videos, some questions, answer them, and it will help you pick a path. Maybe you might pick a path about persuasion, comedy, delivery of messages and whatnot, depending on what you really want to do. You pick a path, and then there's a whole curriculum. It will guide you on maybe your first speech. What should your first speech look like? What should it entail? How should it be structured? So that, because the very first speech, we call it an icebreaker. It's mostly about introducing yourself to the people. People do not know who you are. You can tell us a story about yourself. You can tell us a story about your workplace, something that happened to you in your childhood, in school, at home, anything you want to. The idea is just for us to, by the end of the meeting, to know something about you that we did not know before. So the structure, the pathways will guide you. It has a proper structure. The only way you can access that is by becoming a member, by paying for membership. So to become a member, you pay $25 for registration. We use dollars because it is an international club. $25 for registration, then $60 every 6 months. So that's $60 twice a year. That is $120 plus now the 25. The 25 is a one-off payment. That's registration. And you pay for. So the first time, essentially, what you need is $85 for 25 for registration and the 60 for membership for 6 months. Roughly, that's around 1,000 shillings per month. And then we always tell people, imagine you enrolled in a course in a college, just a local college here where they're teaching you communication, public speaking. I don't think you'd pay 1,000 shillings a month. I think you'd pay way more than that. And that's what you're learning here, because there's a whole curriculum that will guide you. That's what you're learning. Because sometimes when you look at it in dollar form, you might think, oh, that's steep, but it's not really steep. And we do encourage even lipa pole pole, where you pay, say, 1,000 shillings every month, 1,500 every month, so that by the time it's renewal season after 6 months, you've already prepared for the next month. We just look at the difference. You pay the difference from your $60. Say your lipa pole pole got you to $40. You earn $20 and you're in. So you need to pay that. Then you pay another 60 after 6 months. That's it. Then you're guided. Remember I mentioned a VP. VP is Vice President Education. Now, when I am the Vice President membership, now once I have convinced you, Kevin, to become a member, as I am planning on, now after that, after you pay for your membership, now I hand you over to the Vice President Education, who's going to guide you through the education curriculum, guide you through making speeches, and help you maybe pick a mentor in the club, somebody who's been in the club for a while, who's been a Toastmaster for a while, who knows the ropes, somebody who's going to help you. And as you give your speeches, there'll be evaluators to help you along. That's how you learn, that's how you grow, because that's why we're there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's enough of Toastmasters.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for any other questions, you can look up Toastmasters online, but specifically for our club, you can look up Kilele Toastmasters Club, Nyeri, that is on Facebook and on Instagram. You can just browse through and see how fun our meetings are. You will find a billion shots of us laughing and enjoying the meeting. It's never shots of us being stiff and being scared, like, in a classroom with a strict teacher. No, it's always fun. Go look at our socials, follow us, and join us for a meeting whenever you're ready to, second and fourth Thursdays of the month.
Second and fourth Thursdays. You can drop in as a guest where? Location?
At the White Rhino, at the Alexandria Hall at the White Rhino at 6 p.m., 6 to 8, those 2 Thursdays in a month.
Okay. Alexandria Hall at White Rhino, 6 to 8 p.m. Thursdays. Every 2 Thursdays. First and second last Thursday.
It's the second and the fourth.
The second and the fourth Thursday.
When you say second and last, some weeks have 5 Thursdays. So that can be a bit confusing. Always the second and fourth Thursday. We don't want you to show up at the White Rhino and there's nobody there. There's no meeting.
Great.
Yes.
So White Rhino, Alexandria Hall, second and fourth Thursdays of the month. You can show up as a guest. You don't need to bring anything, maybe a notebook.
Yes. And Byro, if you want to note down something, you can also note it in your phone or in your head if you want to. We pay 300 shillings for the meeting room and the snacks. I told you about the tea and snacks. We pay for that. So bring 300 shillings, your Byro and your notebook, and enjoy.
Thank you. So I think what I'm picking up so far is that communication is a skill that one needs to work on continuously. And as you can see from Nemo's experience. She's been doing this for over 3 years, and you can hear how articulate and how, what's the other word, Nemo?
Articulate will suffice.
Articulate will suffice, right?
Mm.
But there's a different word that I'm looking for that I can't find at the moment. And when I do find, I'm going to feel I should have joined Toastmasters Kitambo because I wouldn't be struggling with that word right now. But fluent, that's the one.
Oh.
See, I told you, if I joined
Found it.
Toastmasters, I would not be struggling trying to remember the word fluent. But yeah, she's articulate and she's fluent. And she still shows up every other Thursday because this is a skill that one can work on, get better over time. And now we want to shift from Toastmasters. I think you have all the information you need. If you have other questions, you've been told where to find them on socials, please do. But Nemo, you told me you read a lot. And this is one of the things that also led you to Toastmasters, so that you get an opportunity to use the words that you've learned in books. What do you read? What do you enjoy reading?
Well, I've been reading since I was around 10. And my primary school was right across from the library. And back then, the world was safer. So if it's break time, lunchtime, we're allowed to even go outside the school compound, go and buy snacks outside the gate. I always spend my spare time in the library just reading, catching up on books. And well, at some point, they started giving us library cards so we could borrow books. When I was younger, in high school, maybe in college, I'd read a lot of romance, but now I do not read romance anymore because I feel like it's like those soap operas. You watch them, the Mexican ones, the Filipino ones. Those ones. Those with those soap operas, as interesting as and dramatic as they are in the middle, you always know how it's going to end.
I'll come back after a short break. We're talking about books.
Yes.
And you told me about your love for reading since you're 10 years old and how you loved reading in the beginning, everything, then at some point, romance novels. Gone.
Yeah, I mean, teenagehood romance is everything. But then now, as I grow older, or maybe say in the last 10 years, I have not read a romance book at all because I realized that romance books are pretty much like soap operas. You always know what the ending is going to be. That girl is going to end up with that boy. If it's a poor girl falling in love with a rich man, there'll be hurdles in the middle. There'll be ups and downs, people trying to separate them. But in the end, the bad people will die. The two people will end up together. They'll get married. They'll have kids and they'll live happily ever after. That is what most romance novels are about. So now what I enjoy most is detective novels, mystery, thriller. Those are things I read because I like the drama in between. I want to figure out who killed who, why were they killed. So I like those a lot. And when I watch TV, also my favorites are true crime shows. Now I went from just enacted crime, with the soap operas, it's not real stuff. But now with true crime, they're acting something that actually happened. So now I also watch that because again, I want to find out who did that, who did what, who done it. It's called a who done it. I am into that. Books are great because they take you places you've never been. Books are a great way of spending your spare time. Books keep you away from a lot of trouble that you could get into. Books keep you company. They teach you how to be alone without feeling lonely. That is my take.
Let me ask you a personal question. You've read all these romance novels. You've thrown them to the side because you know how the story ends. Real life, no one ever does. If you are to write like romance novels based on your lived experience, which bits would you change? Like what would be your main issue with the romance novels as they're written, and how would you rewrite them? I'm not very sure I'd want to change them because that is their appeal, knowing that everything works out in the end. Where there's love, everything will work out in the end. I'm not very sure I'd want to change them because, again, yeah, as I said, that's why people love them. People love those happy endings. So sometimes maybe you'd throw in, something people didn't expect at all.
maybe the villain becomes a good person or not a good person. Maybe the girl falls in love with the villain and they get married and whatever. But then that wouldn't. I don't know if that would appeal to the audience. So it's okay. Let them stay as they are. The good thing is that we have many genres of books. If this doesn't work for you, you can read this. I personally do not read self-help books because, again, I feel like it's what I'm hearing everywhere, in church, in school, everywhere. We're trying to help you grow. And it's because it's not my thing. I tell my friend is in school. I mentioned her earlier. My friend Anne is in school, so she's always studying a lot. And I tell her, we speak on the phone, and she says, okay, acha nikasome. And I say, yeah, let me do the same. Only you're doing it for your exams and I'm doing it for fun. For me, reading is for fun. So if the read is no fun, then I do not want to read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the girl falls in love with the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Does the villain change or do they remain a villain?
Because if they change, then they become the good guy. And again, it's the same old romance, right? So maybe they stay who they are. They say, this is who I am. Love me or leave me.
But then in our culture today, would call that toxic. We'll say like, oh, they're in a toxic love. The guys are villain.
We would throw in a lot of
or the guys are villain.
Yes, we'd throw around a lot of words. Toxic, narcissists. That is the favorite word for everyone. And for a while, narcissist was used in reference to men. And what now we're learning is that anyone can be a narcissist. It can be the woman in the relationship, can be the man. It can both be toxic. And some people actually like that. The toxicity works for them, works for their relationship. And a little drama is good, but never too much of it, then it becomes too much trouble, more energy than it's worth, I think.
So
my view.
That sounds like what Nemo today would tell the teenage Nemo about while she's reading the romance novels.
Yes, I think so, yeah. I've never thought about it that way, but you're right.
Yeah, when I remember that time in my life when I used to also really love reading that kind of books, Mills and Bones. I knew them by publishers. Like I knew there was Mills and Bones produce a certain kind of romance novels. There was a Silhouette Desire produced a different kind of romance novels. And then there, of course, a few people like Nora Roberts were just on their own.
Yeah.
And then at some point, from my own lived experience, I realized the reality I was living and the ideals that were being espoused in the books. Wow.
Worlds apart, because that's what, and I think that's a bit of their appeal, that they take you out of your regular life, what you expect, what you go through in your life, and they take you somewhere else. They transport you somewhere else where everything is so nice and perfect and people love each other and they get married. But that is why you watch TV, listen to music, you do something enjoyable to get away from the norm. So I think that's their appeal. And yeah, you did mention all the big romance writers, and I can't remember them now because that is seems like so long ago for me. Right now, one of my favorite authors is Sue Grafton. She's an alphabet. Her books are in alphabetical order. They're all detective works, so they're awesome. So read a lot of Stuart Woods and a lot of Lisa Gardner. All those are very, very they all are about detective work. Somebody has to die. Or one or more people have to die. There's an investigation. Eventually, the bad people get caught. That is the fun part. But I have a lot of fun with such books because I want to see, would I make a good detective? So far, I don't think so. I don't think so because rarely have I. The twists just keep coming. And when I think I've got it, as I'm reading, I was like, it has to be that woman, it has to be that man. Then as we carry on, no, it wasn't them. They were just a victim. It's somebody else, somebody I didn't expect. So far, I've not yet gotten to where I want to be as a detective, but I'll get there. I'll get there. But all I'm saying is books are great. And we were talking about leadership. I believe that readers are leaders because when you read, you are exposed to a lot. You have a lot of information. You have content for when you speak to your people, when you're called upon to give speeches. So reading is great. And I have a target of 40 books this year. I'm on book 29. hopefully by the end of October, I'll have read the 29th and the 30th. Then I'll just have 10 books to contend with in November and December. Let's see how I do. I'll let you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's still a realistic target.
Right?
Yeah, it's still a realistic target.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you read for fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy that I had talk. I really love. He has this TED talk that I keep recommending it to friends, especially friends who aren't married.
Yeah.
And there's this TED talk called "Why You'll Marry the Wrong Person."
Uh-huh.
It's a TED talk. But I think there was an article on the New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what he talks about,
Mm-hmm.
the thing I remember is that he says that romanticism is one of the worst things I think to happen to civilization, because it gives people these unrealistic expectations of reality.
Yes.
And then when reality shows up as it is,
You're
we are also
disappointed.
disappointed and frustrated and angry.
Mm-hmm.
And I've experienced that in my own life
Mhm.
from the times when I was like a real true romantic.
Mm-hmm.
And so for you, knowing that romance novels don't meet the expectations of reality,
Yeah.
what's the alternative? What alternative would you suggest to a younger Nemo? Like romance is nice, aspire for it, but reality is gonna show you a different thing.
Yeah, so just keep your expectations at not a minimal, because again, nobody wants bare minimum, but somewhere reasonable. Don't have too high expectations of people, because that's how we end up getting hurt, because I expected so much from you. I expected this much from you, and you're all the way down here. And it may not be so bad because you're not at the very bottom, but then because my expectations are so far, the distance is so huge. I think this has failed and whatnot. So always try to manage your expectations. I know it's difficult. Easier said than done. We are all struggling with that. But hey, we keep trying.
Yeah. And how do we give each other grace? Because that's some other thing. Sort of like when I'm hurt because I had these high expectations, and then turns out reality is down here, I won't accept. It's hard for me to accept that it's not that the other person hurt me, but that my expectations were unrealistic. So I'm still going to look for a villain. Like it's you who hurt me, even when in reality it was my own expectations that were completely unrealistic.
Yeah, we are human, so we are wired that way. We are wired to act that way, or react that way. But if we keep in mind that mostly everything that goes wrong does not go wrong because of one person. You played your part, I played my part. I had too high expectations, and you really maybe didn't put enough effort. That's why we didn't, come closer to each other, expectation wise. So when we remember that, you also had a part to play, I had a part to play, then we try to come together, because if it's something we want to be in, if it's meaningful for us, if it's a relationship that's meaningful for you, doesn't have to be a romantic one, can be even a relationship among friends, a relationship at work, where it's not always one person's fault that something went wrong. Somebody else dropped the ball this side, and someone else did maybe didn't notice it in good time to correct them. Let us always try to remember that. I know, again, easier said than done. And that's why it's a process. I mean, it's life. We try, we fail, we get up, try again.
Someone says when they pick up a book to read, they put it immediately down. Can't open a page.
Oh, well, I'm very sure they do not just pick it up and put it down. I know they read, say, 2-3 pages. Try that. Give yourself something as a target, like a very small one to begin with. Just try that. I have a friend, I go to yoga with, her name is Lucy. She told me, I cannot read. I want to read, but reading for me is so, so difficult. And my mom has written a book. It's not a huge book. I sold her that book and I told her, try this book. It's about places around Nyeri. So it's a fun book for you to read. because you'll identify with what's being said or places being mentioned. And read just 5 pages every day. I told her the trick also is to don't look for these huge amounts of time to read. Take whatever you get. That 5 minutes that you're waiting for a doctor, that 5 minutes that you're stuck somewhere, that 5 minutes that you're in a taxi from uptown to downtown, or you're waiting for your friend to meet you for coffee. Take those bits of time. They really do make a difference. I told her the only way to do that is to always have a book with you. Always have a book with you. When I finish reading a book, I always pick my next read and I put it in my purse. I may not start it tomorrow. I may not start it 3, 4, 5 days from now, but I'll have it if I need it. I do not want to ever be in a place where I think, oh, I have a whole hour to wait. They said someone is running late. What am I going to do now? I do not have a book. I never want that because, of course, I'll just pick my phone and start scrolling. And for me, that does not really. I feel like that is time I'd spend reading. I'd have done a few chapters by the time that person gets there. Always have the book with you. You can try to read five chapters a day, or I mean 5 pages a day, or 10 pages, or whatever number you want. But you don't have to do it that way. You can read even a page at a time when you're waiting. Just grab these small bits of time that you get, bits of free time that you get in between your everyday life, and try to read that. So that give your friend that advice. I hope it works for him. I don't know if it will.
It works for somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, just try. Start small. We have very, very small books, 50 pages, 100 pages. Start with those. Start with something you like. If you start with, say, self-help and you're not interested in that, you're going to hate reading even more.
Yeah.
So if you're into stories, on something exciting, find that book, find a small one, start with that. And then don't stop, because if you stop too long in between, then you go back to your old self, the one who never liked to read at all. Yeah.
Physical book or soft copy?
Always physical books. I like to turn the pages. I want to touch and hold what I'm reading. I struggle with reading even very long texts. I cannot do that on my phone, even on computers and whatnot. I've tried that a bit, but I know for sure that I'd never read a full book on my phone or on the computer. It has to be a physical one. And I get my reading from my mom. My mom is my role model in many ways, more ways than I can mention. But one of the gifts she gave me, I didn't know that you can inherit such qualities like loving to read. I get it from her. My mom is a reader. She's always been a reader, an avid one, and I'm exactly like her. So sometimes we even share books, because sometimes I'm reading something and like my mom is going to enjoy this. Once I'm done with it, I give it to her. And sometimes the same, she'll read a book, she'll call me and say, oh, this book we bought the other day, it's really good. Make sure that next time you come over, you live with it. And that's how we do it. Reading is great, I believe.
I agree. And reading is great. When we come back, we're going to hear more about Susie's mom. And it's not only a fan of like the joy of reading that they share. Your mom runs a charity and you help her run it. So that's something else that you share with her. And I want to hear more about that when we come back. Welcome back for that quick break. Before the break, we heard about Susie's love for reading, and that's a thing she got from her mom. And it's a joy that they both share. And we want to hear more about what you and your mom do together in her charity. Like, what's the charity about? What's your mom's role? What's your role? And what can you share with us? How can people get involved for someone who might be looking for a place to volunteer or a way to get involved?
Okay. So the charity is a children's home and rescue center. It's called Belwop Children's Home and Rescue Center. It was started 20 years ago. Belwop. BELWOP, which essentially means better life without papers. And why we came up with that, why my mom came up with that, was because we have children who come to us who have 0 documents. They don't have names. They don't have any birth certificates or anything like that. But that should not be a reason why a child should not have a better life just because they didn't have the paperwork to show who they are. My mom started it in 2005. Our first location was at Asian Quarters. right here in Nyeri, then Gatito, but now we're in Kieni, which is our forever home. 100 years from now, the home of Belwop will always be in Moiga Kieni, which is home for us. It's where my grandparents hail from. So in Belwop, we have 3 types of children. We have orphaned kids, we have abandoned and neglected children. Abandoned means a child that was left somewhere with no identity, and somebody picks them up, and maybe they're too young to even speak, to know their name, their parents' name. Neglected means children who have relatives, maybe not their immediate parents, but they have relatives who could be taking care of them, who maybe were taking care of them at some point, but have neglected them. And orphaned is self-explanatory. We are also a rescue center, meaning sometimes we are not, the children that come to us are not there to live there with us. They're there for a short time, maybe seeking safe haven. They're going through something, their parents are going through something, or the children have been abused in one way or another. And there's a court case going on. And so they need somewhere safe to stay until the case has been decided. So that's how, so we house them for whatever amount of time that is required. The government needs us to house them for. And after everything's resolved, the children's office picks them up and takes them back home, somewhere that's safer after whatever they had been through. Right now we have 20 children, but over the years, over 20 years, we've had hundreds of children call Belwop their home, because at different stages, the children have come to us, and some of them have stayed with us for a number of years and later been reunited with their relatives, especially the neglected ones. I said sometimes they may be neglected, but say 3 years or 4 years from when they came to us, somebody, a relative who's really willing to take care of them, who loves them, can come up. And now we started 20 years ago, so we have children that came to us that early on. The children who are orphaned, who only know Belwop as home, or the abandoned ones who have nowhere else to go. Some of them came to us at that time and are still with us. That means they are adults now. Say a child came to us at 5 years, they're 25 now. So we've had a lot of great success stories. We have children who have gone off to get married, form their own families, get jobs in various places. Now, oldest right now is in college, graduating sometime next year. And that is one of our success stories. Anyone who wants to visit us can visit us in Moiga. They can check out our pages. And now Belwop Children's Home and Rescue Center gave birth or morphed into the Belwop Foundation late last year. And the reason the Belwop Foundation came up was because we want to reach more people, not just children. We want to help more people who may be in various kinds of needs, even if they're adults, even if they're school-going children who may have a home to live in, but they don't have maybe uniform, they don't have basic essentials. Essentially, what the Belwop Foundation does is making sure that everyone in our community has the small things that make living a joy. Small things such as soap to bathe, such as sanitary towels for girls, such as toothpaste, a toothbrush, small things like those. And again, you can check out our pages on Facebook. We have the Belwop Foundation, and we also have Belwop Children's Home and Rescue Center to see what we are doing and see how you'd like to be involved. We have contacts listed there for anyone who wants to reach us.
Okay. Please check out Belwop Foundation.
Yes. BELWOP. The Belwop Foundation and the Belwop Rescue Center and Children's Home.
Great.
Yes.
Now, I mentioned yoga in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So now we can, as we wrap up, how does one take care of themselves so that, earlier behind the scenes, you're telling me how when we're raising kids, you see our kids grow up, and that is always a signal that I am growing old. And as I grow old, that comes with its own challenges.
Yes.
Currently, I won't tell you what I'm currently struggling with because that's a consequence of growing old. But there's something I'm really struggling with that I know this is one sure sign that as my kids grow up, I'm growing old.
Yes.
So talk to us about self-care. The theme that I hear run through your story today is Susie loves having fun and living her life, doing the things that give her joy. Like And that comes through when you talk about Toastmasters. This is fun for me. When you talk about reading, this is fun for me. When you talk about yoga, you told me earlier, this is fun for me. So there's that theme of having fun. I guess to have a long life and have fun through it all, one needs to make sure like they're in top form, they have energy, they're great, they're not ailing from lifestyle diseases. How does Susie take care of herself, and what self-care lessons can she share with the rest of us who are still struggling with age?
Oh, I think we we are all struggling with age, but then it is a process of life. And as we were speaking earlier, you told me how grateful you are for every year you turn. I'm the same here because I'm this old. So many people never got to be this age. But then just because I'm this old doesn't mean I have to look this old or feel this old. I don't, I can take care of myself. And as you said, everything I'm talking about is about having fun and taking care of myself. And having fun is relative. What having fun means for you is not what it means for me or for somebody else out there. So whatever form of having fun, so long as you're not harming yourself or others, you indulge in it. So for me, yoga is one of the ways that I take care of myself. It is fun, it is relaxing, it is calming, it is good for my mind, for my body and my soul. Meditation is one of the things we do in yoga. During meditation you're able to calm your mind, to quiet your mind. There's a lot going on in there. Think I need to do this, need to achieve this, I forgot to do this, I have to be somewhere. So during meditation you're able to quiet your mind and to relax it, let it recharge. For your body, with the poses, we call them asanas, those are great. They keep you fit. You stretch your body. You stretch it to points that you didn't think it could go to. Keeps you flexible, keeps you light on your feet, which is a good thing for everyone, whether you're old or growing old, or it is great for all of us. And because you realize that when we were kids, there are things that came naturally to us, like doing a backflip, standing on your head. Those things are so natural to children because they're flexible. But as we grow older, we become more rigid. That's what you don't want that, because that's when you're walking around and your knee starts to hurt for no reason. You wake up and your back hurts for no reason. You can't walk, can't come up the 4 flights of stairs that it gets to get to this office of yours. So yoga is great in all those ways, and it is also great for the soul, because when you meditate, when you work out, it's usually very quiet. It's not loud. It's quiet time. It's self-quiet time. So after that, I always feel very calm. I feel I look at things more positively. I also look at things maybe from other points of view, from other people's points of view. So after yoga, I feel like maybe that thing that happened wasn't such a big deal. I can forgive that thing. It wasn't a deal breaker or anything, because I've had time to quiet my mind and to calm my spirit, and my body feels great. I do yoga once a week. Ideally, twice is recommended. Sometimes, because of everything we need to do in life, I manage to do it once a week. I also walk a lot. Walking is great for me because, you're out in the fresh air. You're just looking around, seeing people going on their lives. Nobody knows you. You don't know them, but you're just walking around. So I walk without headphones, and mostly I walk alone. So it's, again, quiet time for me. But outside, it's, the world is going on, but it's just time for me to be outdoors. That's how I take care of myself. I tried gym. Gym is not for me. I tried aerobics. They are not for me. But yoga and walking, those are for me.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I think that's the end of it, because Susie has another engagement. Would have gone on this much longer, but promise you're going to
We'll
come back again.
Yes. We'll come back, but it's on condition that you come to Toastmasters. I mean, if you don't, then the deal is off.
For the audience, I will come to Toastmasters, and for myself too, actually.
Yeah, and you'll come back and give them a review of everything.
Toastmasters and what I learned there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll also come to the children's home, and maybe you'll come for one yoga class.
that's where I draw the line. But
That's all right. Everyone needs to have a line of some sort somewhere.
yeah, but the thing I get from you is
Mhm.
I really get the fun-loving Susie. That I think that shines through very strongly,
Oh.
and also the flexibility
Mhm.
and like the flexibility of mind, the flexibility of spirit.
Mhm.
Even that, like used to believe this when I was younger, grew up, realized not what life's like, so I need to adjust and be more flexible with these ideas.
Yeah.
I think that shines through, maybe as a testament to what reading can also do to the mind.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I think you said for you it's mind, body, and soul, and one can feel the fun from all three and the flexibility in all. And I'm so glad that you shared with us this time and shared with us your life and the lessons you've learned.
I'm glad that you guys asked me over. This was fun. I hope we can do it again.
Definitely. Thank you so much for watching. If you have other questions for Susie, please leave them in the comments so that when she comes next time, we can start with those. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. My name is Suzzanne Wairimu Muhuri. I am a Toastmaster. I am a mom. I am a daughter. I am a friend. And I have had the best time of my day today here at Amvukisha, talking with Kev. And I invite everyone to join, to like, share, and subscribe. I don't know in which order. Subscribe, like, share to Amvukisha. There's a lot of great content here for everyone. And I also invite you to like and follow the Belwop Foundation, Belwop Children's Home and Rescue Center, as well as Toastmasters International and Kilele Toastmasters Nyeri Club. Like all those pages, follow us for more information on everything I've been speaking about here. Thank you and goodbye.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Amvukisha with my amazing guest, Susie Nimo. This has been so eye-opening, and I hope you got some tips on Toastmasters and how to work on the skills of communication and leadership, on books and the joy of reading, and how that changes over one's life, and also on all the other stuff that she mentioned, how to take care of yourself, the foundations that she works with, and even the general life advice that we got tucked in there someplace. Personally, really excited that you keep watching. Most of you have subscribed. If you've not subscribed yet, please subscribe. What are you waiting for? Let's make this channel grow. Let's keep getting amazing guests, and let's learn together. As Susie said, learning can be fun, and those things don't have to be mutually exclusive. You don't learn and have fun. You can learn and have fun. You can have fun and learn, and that's what we did here today. And thank you so much, Susie.
You're welcome.
Showing up.
Thank you too for having me.
Great.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.